Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. The weather in Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are outside the country. Raila Odinga yesterday shocked Kenyans when he announced that if IEBC will not make available the manual register of voters, then he was not going to participate in that election. That announcement by Raila Odinga has actually elicited a lot of reaction from Kenyans. And Raila Odinga supporters are wondering whether Raila Odinga enjoys the support of the deep state or not. And William Ruto supporters are so happy that Raila Odinga has been cornered by the Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto. And as a matter of fact, more details have now emerged why Raila Odinga made that statement. So in this video, I'm going to dig further into that particular statement. But before we do that, in case you're watching the channel for the first time, I want you guys to take a second or two. Click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. Now, Raila Odinga indicated yesterday that he's not going to participate in the elections in case IEBC will not make available the manual register. And IEBC have announced that the manual register will be made available, but it will only be used after the biometrics fails, because normally when you go to a polling station, what happens is that once you arrive, then you are identified through the biometrics. If that fails, then the IEBC staffs will use your ID. So they'll take your ID, check the number, then key the number in, so that they'll be able to retrieve your information. In case your information will miss there again, that's when the manual register will be used. That is exactly what Raila Odinga was demanding. But in my view, and based on the reaction of Kenyans, I've come to the conclusion that the statement which Raila Odinga made yesterday, of course, the statement was made in Kiambu, which is significant. The statement which Raila Odinga made yesterday while in Kiambu has both advantage and disadvantage. I want us to start by looking at the disadvantage of that statement. And that's why there's a lot of panic amongst Raila Odinga supporters, because they are worried. Why are they worried? Number one, the statement which Raila Odinga made that if manual register will not be available, he's going to boycott the election, has actually demoralized Raila Odinga supporters. I've always opined on this platform severally that the only way Raila Odinga supporters will come out in large numbers to vote is when they are assured that their votes are going to count. In case they're not assured that their votes are going to count, let me assure you, Raila Odinga supporters will not wake up. By Raila Odinga stating that IEBC must make available the register, in my view, the supporters are now demoralized. At this point in time, that is the least thing Raila Odinga would have expected his supporters to go through. Remember, Raila Odinga supporters started voting for him. There are those supporters who have started voting for Raila Odinga in 1997. They voted for him again in 2007, 2013, and 2017. Fatigue had actually kicked in, most of them. But when it became clear and apparent that Uhuru Kenyatta was going to support him, that now their votes were going to count because the system was with them, they were willing to do everything possible. So the truth of the matter is that right now, majority of them, because I talk to most people, majority of them, I haven't joined Bunge today, majority of them feels that hii kitu imeenda. So their moral is down. If I were Raila Odinga, I would not have done what he did. I would have asked, for example, my lawyer to deal with IBC. If that was not going to be possible, ask Junet Mohamed or say one of the Jubilee leaders or even Martha Karua to issue that statement, but not from himself. So that's number one. The moral is now down. Number two, Raila Odinga is now coming as a perennial complainer. You know, Raila Odinga, the truth of the matter is that in 2007, Raila Odinga's victory was stolen. 2013 and 2017 are debatable. But he's always believed that even those times, his victory was stolen. So Raila Odinga has been complaining. And the truth of the matter is that Kenyans who believe in Raila Odinga believes that his victory has always been stolen. So why complain again while you assured them? Remember in 2017, Raila Odinga asked his supporters to just do one thing: turn up, vote, and leave the rest to him. That's exactly what they did in the last election. So they turned up, they voted, and they went home. Raila Odinga went to Supreme Court, won the Supreme Court, decided not to contest, but his supporters were never involved at most of those stages. In this election, they were sure that Raila Odinga is going to win. So when Raila Odinga is now coming out to complain 32 days or 33 days to the election, it means he's coming out as someone who normally complains. So most of the people will now not take him seriously. So that's number two. Number three, I also think that it makes Kenya, it makes Azimio la Umoja appear as if they're in panic mode. At this point in time, the only thing they need to do is to assure their supporters that everything is under control. Even if IEBC are trying to play these games, we are in charge, we are following, we are not going to allow this thing to happen. They can even explain to them why they are demanding that the register must be made available. Number four, why it's also working against Raila Odinga is the fact that it has now provided UDA and Kenya Kwanza with an agenda for the week. And they're going to sustain it. I know William Ruto and his brigades. In most cases, if you've been following them, they always take advantage of whatever Raila Odinga is doing and change it. So from today moving forward, you'll be hearing more of this particular matter being discussed as an agenda in William Ruto's rallies. The truth of the matter is that even today, I listened to a speech by Moses Wetangula. It's like Raila Odinga has been complaining in 1997. Raila Odinga has been complaining in 2007. He complained in 2013. Of course, he was with Raila Odinga that time. The Raila Odinga again complained in 2017. So that move alone has now provided Kenya Kwanza with agenda for the week. And lastly, and this is important for them, Raila Odinga and his team should have realized that there is a delicate voting bloc of the undecided. The Infotrack released their opinion poll for Nairobi the other day. And the number of undecided, for example, for the gubernatorial seat was so high. The truth of the matter is that there are still some Kenyans who are undecided. They don't know whether to go with Raila or whether to vote for Ruto, whether to vote for Azimio or whether to vote for Kenya Kwanza. Those undecided, they will make those choices and decisions based on several other factors. And one of the factors which will determine where they go is the assurance that where they'll cast their vote, that is where the presidency is going to come from. So if you are Raila Odinga and your team is complaining that the voter register must be there and you are planning to boycott election, there are people who are undecided. You will say, okay, kumbe this guy is just complaining, he has sensed defeat, so I'm not going to support him. So the truth of the matter is that those undecided voters might be swayed now to join Ruto. And lastly, the mere fact that Raila Odinga is complaining is actually a moral booster to William Ruto's side. The truth of the matter is that it had reached a point, because I talked to most of these guys, they're my friends, it had reached a point where they had actually given up that hii kitu imeenda. I know a gentleman of mine, I can't mention his name here, who is a close ally of Musalia Mudavadi. He told me that vile tunaona hii kitu imeenda, we don't have hopes now. But with this, I'm sure if you are listening, I know you'll call me tomorrow. He'll definitely call me to tell me now that there's a chance, because they believed that Raila Odinga and everything had captured everything. So because of those, the supporters are worried. But why do you think Raila Odinga was making that particular demand? I did a comprehensive analysis about that tomorrow, but there are additional information which I'm going to add in here and probably touch on a few which we mentioned yesterday. Number one, why Raila Odinga is making that particular statement is because Raila Odinga is keen on ensuring that Kenya Kwanza declares their total faith and confidence in IEBC. The truth of the matter is that as we speak today, if I want to ask you, do you think UDA have full confidence in IEBC? That's what Raila Odinga wanted. And once they declare their full confidence in IEBC, we have only 30 days to the elections. If IEBC will announce Raila Odinga as the winner, will they complain? Will they complain? Because so far, there is this story that out of the 42 returning officers, 19 are Kalenjins. So there's that confidence they have. Then people will go for the elections, and the electronic devices will be used to identify people. Then the votes will proceed. Just a few manual will be here and there. They'll be satisfied. As long as they've declared that they have faith and confidence in IEBC, Raila Odinga has already achieved his objective. And the second objective why Raila Odinga made that statement is that Raila Odinga, I think, wants an assurance from Wafula Chebukati and the team that they'll be able to conduct a free, fair, and credible election. That's what Raila Odinga is asking. And if you listen to Wafula Chebukati and the statement he issued today, he was very clear and particular that for them, they don't take instructions from anybody. They don't work for anybody or any institution. So which means they are independent. He has made that very clear. And according to Wafula Chebukati, they are ready and they've prepared well for this election. That is the only assurance Raila Odinga wanted. So that tomorrow, Wafula Chebukati, I'm used to Buke because I worked with Wafula Buke, sorry. Wafula Chebukati will not wake up one day and claim that he could not deliver free and fair elections because person A or person B interfered with his work. Number three is something which I said yesterday, that the other objective which Raila Odinga wanted to achieve was to get those who are transferred illegally. Because remember, there was this story of illegal transfer of voters. There were so many voters who were transferred illegally without signing. And they were totaling to around 1 million or something, or thereabout. Now, majority of these people will actually wake up on the 9th day to go to the polling station. And because they were transferred, they will not find their names. Biometrics will not recognize them. So the only way these people will be allowed to vote is when they will be able to identify themselves with the help of IEBC staffs on that manual register. So Raila Odinga is using that manual register to cover for these people in case someone played some monkey businesses. And already I was reading that IEBC have actually decided to send the 5 staffs who are involved in illegal transfer of voters out of office. So which means something happened. And Raila Odinga is trying to cover all this so that after the elections, nobody will be able to claim that he was never allowed to vote. Which takes us to the last point, which I also explained yesterday, about the presidential petition. In fact, one of the main reasons why Raila Odinga is talking of this particular register is that he's covering so that nobody will be able to go to court. Nobody will be able to go to court to challenge the results. Even if you go to court, then everything will be documented that on this issue, we talked of the register, it was placed here. On this, we talked of this, we placed it here. Remember, Raila Odinga has been raising several issues with IEBC. And for those who followed the presidential petition in the last election, all these issues Raila Odinga is raising them just to cover in case he wins and someone would want to go to court. I don't know what you think. That's my take. And in case you're watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And I hope you guys watched that Raila Odinga rally in Kirinyaga. It was massive. The truth of the matter is that Kirinyaga has now shifted in favor of Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga will get 40 to 50% in Kirinyaga. In Kiambu, I still don't know. But I've just heard Moses Kuria complain bitterly. So let us wait and see how the whole thing is going to unfold. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye.